Welcome to Rolling Solo, where I follow the journey of Francesca, a tiefling bard, as I learn to play D&D one roll at a time. We're following Francesca di Valcere, who walked away from her noble family to live by her own rules. She dazzles on stage, but in the shadows she schemes, using her wit, magic and charm to survive. Last time, Francesca dazzled the crowd at the Broken Bow Inn, uncovered a secret shipment tied to the Black Glove syndicate, and slipped through the shadows of the South Pier, only to shatter a lantern, spark chaos, and lock eyes with a corrupt guard captain. Now, with prisoners rising in revolt, guards scrambling, and her own cover at risk of being blown, Francesca's journey continues. Chaos erupts at the South Pier. The lantern you shattered sputters out, plunging half the docks into shadow. Guards curse and stumble, prisoners tug at their chains, and that tall, defiant captive bellows commands like a soldier rallying troops. The red-cloaked captain snarls orders, pointing toward the gangplank. Black glove enforcers draw steel, trying to herd the captives back under control. Amid the noise, you are still cloaked in darkness, dagger in hand, unnoticed. For now. Choices in the moment. 1. Aid the uprising, cut chains, strike guards, or cast a spell to swing the chaos in the prisoner's favour. 2. Target the captain. A bold move to unseat command, though risky. 3. Stay hidden. Observe, wait for the perfect opening, and learn more. 4. Flee the pier. Escape with knowledge, though you'll sacrifice influence over the outcome. What does Francesca do in this first heartbeat of chaos? I think when trying to stay true to the character, she's not going to flee at this moment because that would be letting go of control, and I feel like she's got some control freak tendencies going on. Once she's committed to something, I don't think she can walk away. Targeting the captain seems too bold a move, a bit too risky for her, considering she's already failed some risky manoeuvres that night. I feel like that she would be less likely to risk more upset to her kind of reputation or her just the actions of the night. Staying hidden, observing, waiting, that does seem true to her kind of stealth character and the idea that she has this double life that she leads and that she wouldn't want to risk further exposure. But equally, aiding the uprising, I mean, she wouldn't have committed to doing this in the first place if she didn't want to help these people. So I'm wondering if I can swing the aid the uprising in a way that would still keep hold of the stealth that I have at the moment. So I'm thinking we're going to probably go along the lines of casting a spell to see if we can swing the chaos in the prisoner's favour. But to do that, I need to have a look at my paperwork and see what spells I can actually cast. Let's see. So you see, this is where my newness, that is a terrible use of the English language, my newbie status to D&D comes to shine, because I can tell that I've got some spells that I think might be useful. And it has also reminded me of some of the traits that my character has, like dark vision up to 60 feet, which would be quite handy in this instance. But I don't know what the damage is and the distance is for certain other things, like my attack spells. So I'm thinking something like invisibility. That's going to be helpful, but it says second level invisibility. So that suggests there's limits to it. So what I'm going to do is go onto a website, which is brilliant, which I used to help me design my character, which is dndbeyond.com. And on that there is a feature where you can search for spells. So if I type in what I need here, okay, invisibility, second level. So creature you touch is invisible condition till the spell ends, and it ends immediately after the target makes an attack roll, deals damage or casts a spell. So I'm going to keep that in my back pocket, but considering it ends after you would do another spell or attack, I don't think that's the first thing I want to do. So let's have a look at some of the other things I have. Vicious Mockery, which is... yeah, so that gives me psychic damage for 1d6 roll. But again, I'm not sure I want to go instantly in with that spell. So another thing that I was considering is I have this message cantrip, and cantrips are a bit different from the spells. So from what I can gather about cantrips through my reading and also through my use of them in the BG3 Baldur's Gate 3 game, they don't operate under the same category as spells. So spells use up spell slots, and there's only like a certain number you can use per combat or per short rest or long rest. Whereas a cantrip is kind of unlimited, although you won't be able to do like loads of them and spam them in combat situations. Still one per turn, but you can do it multiple times within a combat situation, if that makes any sense. And if I am correct, please correct me if I am wrong. So, got wildly off track there. What was I saying? I was talking about the message cantrip. So from what I can find, message cantrip. It is a transmutation spell, 120 feet range, so that's quite useful, I think, because I'm not like right close to the prisoners. I'm quite close to the guard, but when it comes to the 120-foot range, I might be able to use this. It says, you point toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear. Right, we've come on to something here. I'm thinking I whisper a message to this prisoner leader guy who seems to be in a position of power, maybe sharing that control together and working together to aid everyone. I then will go immediately into my invisibility spell and get closer to the guards in order to find a best position to sneak up on them before I think about delivering the vicious mockery, or I might be even using my daggers there. But yeah, I think that's the order I want to go for. So long story short, I'm going to whisper a message to the kind of leader of the prisoners. I don't know what message yet, we'll think of that in a second. We'll then activate my invisibility, move close to the guards to find a good place to set up my attack, which will be coordinated with the prisoners if that message gets through. Right, time to put that in and see what happens. Nice plan. Smooth and sly. I'll narrate the message first, then you cast invisibility and slip into position. I need 2 rolls from you so we can resolve the social side and the stealth approach. Quick notes before you roll. Message, you whisper a sentence only the tall prisoner hears. No roll required for the cantrip itself. It's silent to others and they can't see you speaking it. Persuasion to the tall prisoner. Francesca's persuasion modifier is +6. This determines whether the prisoner trusts and coordinates with you. Invisibility, you cast it after messaging. Invisibility is a 2nd level bard spell and requires concentration up to 1 minute. It will let you move unseen, but note, if you make a weapon attack or cast another spell that affects an enemy, the invisibility ends. Stealth, to slip closer and mark ambush positions when visible. Francesca's stealth modifier is +5. Okay, roll 2 d20s for me and give me the results. Persuasion d20 +6, stealth d20 +5. This is another reason why it's good to spend time setting up if you're going to use AI as your dungeon master, because I've told it, like, I'm new to this, please give me some extra information that you wouldn't normally need. So as I do more of this and later on in the game I might not need all of this extra information, but right now I very much do need it. Okay, let's make these rolls. So we're doing a persuasion d20 check first. You're not going to believe that. That's a natural 20. I can't believe that. Okay, natural 20. We're liking this. Let's not jinx it. Let's roll for the stealth. Not so good, a 9, but I do have the +5 modifier. Let's see what that does to the story. You whisper across the gap with message. You want freedom. Then time our strikes together. I'll cover the guards, you rally the chains. The tall prisoner's head jerks, eyes blazing with sudden recognition. Their lips barely move as they answer, voice steel. A signal then. You strike, we rise. 1 heartbeat, no more. They shift posture, readying the others subtly. With a single sentence, you've turned desperate captives into a coordinated cell. Then you vanish. Invisibility shimmers over you and you slip forward. The guards' boots clatter, their shadows long in the fractured lamplight. You mark the weak points, but as you step closer, one enforcer stiffens. He peers into the dark, hand tightening on his cudgel. He can't see you, but something has tipped his instincts. He prowls dangerously close to your hiding place. You're unseen, but if you breathe wrong, he might swing blindly. Invisible, you freeze as the black glove enforcer prowls ever closer. His boots thud softly on the planks, cudgel tapping against his thigh. He mutters, low and suspicious. "Thought I heard something. Shadow's playing tricks again." The prisoners shift nervously, the tall one glancing toward the dark where you crouch, clearly waiting for your promised signal. The red-cloaked captain barks an order, pulling some guards' attentions back, but this one lingers. He's only a pace away. Choice. Do you ambush now, strike while you're right under his nose, perhaps a rapier or dagger attack? But your invisibility breaks on strike. Hold still, gamble that he shrugs it off and moves on. Or distract magically, perhaps minor illusion to pull him away, still invisible, but risking alerting others. What does Francesca do? Okay, this seems like a pivotal moment in this combat. I'm tempted to go with ambush because I can feel like although I break the invisibility, it's still dark out. So if I am successful in my roles, I can kill this guard or at least subdue him before I alert the other guards to my presence. So you know what? I'm going to risk it all and I'm going to ambush now. You surge from shadow, dagger and rapier at the ready. Because you're unseen, you make the attack with advantage. You roll 2 d20s and take the higher, and add +5 to hit. If you hit, damage is 1d8 plus 3 if you use the rapier. A natural 20 is a critical hit, double the weapon dice. Roll 2 d20s for the attack and tell me both results. I'll resolve the hit-miss, narrate what happens, and then, if you hit, ask you for the damage roll. Let's get ready to roll then. Okay, so I am rolling 2 d20s. If I find my other dice... Yes, because I do have 2 sets of dice, even though I've only recently got into this. So let's find my other d20s so that I can roll them both at the same time for extra drama. Okay, let's give them a shake in my hands. You're not gonna believe it, because it doesn't seem like it will seem like I'm making it up, but I'm gonna take a picture. I mean, you could think the picture's staged, but I'm gonna take a picture because I have literally rolled a double critical 20. Not critical 20, what am I saying? Natural 20. Yeah, I mean, the odds of that are outstandingly low, but nevertheless, I promise you, it's true. And I will post it on my socials later to prove it. But like I said, if you want to believe it's fake, then go for it. No one's really listening to this podcast anyway. That's not true. I've seen a few people are listening, which I'm grateful for. Anyway, I'm going off track again. I just got too excited by the natural 20s. I mean, a double natural 20, right? I need to move on. So I need to type that in and see what happens, and then it's going to ask for my 1d8 damage roll. Now, this is even more unbelievable because I did roll it off mic because I was just typing it in and I thought I'll just roll for the damage now to save time. It's a d8 dice. The highest you can get is an 8. I got an 8. I feel like I need to go out and buy a lottery ticket or a scratch card or something because clearly the gods are working in my favour today. Anyway, let's get back to typing that in and see where it takes me. Double natural 20s into max damage, ! See, even the AI gets how exciting that moment was for me. It says, that's bardic poetry in steel. Let's give this moment the drama it deserves. See, it's not just me. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Invisible, you spring forward, rapier gleaming as the spell collapses around you. The enforcer barely has time to gasp before your blade drives home. It's a perfect strike, between ribs straight to the heart. The man stiffens, eyes wide, then slumps without a sound. You catch him just enough to lower him to the planks. His cudgel rolls into the dark, unheard beneath the roar of the pier. The consequences. The guard is down, clean and silent. Your invisibility is gone, but the chaos on the pier masks you. For now. The tall prisoner's eyes look on yours through the dark, a sharp nod, signal given, signal received. But across the pier, the red-cloaked captain notices the sudden break in formation. He barks, "Where's Joran? Find him!" 2 guards peel off, heading vaguely in your direction. You have heartbeats before they find the body. Next move options. Signal the prisoners now. Unleash the coordinated uprising at its peak. Hide the body fast. Sleight of hand +7 to drag it behind crates before they arrive. Ambush the next pair. Take them before they notice the corpse. Use a distraction spell to cover your position. Do you go loud now or play for one more beat of shadow before the storm breaks? Oh, I feel like I'm caught up in the moment and the drama, and the 20s on my dice are just exciting me too much. But you know what? Let's live a little. Even if it's in a fictional role-playing game, let's live a little. Francesca is going to signal the prisoners now. Let's get into this battle. Might be a little bit off character for her, but I think even Francesca will get caught up in the adrenaline rush of the moment, and that's what we're going to go for. So let's signal the prisoners now. The battle begins. You lock eyes with the tall prisoner and give the subtlest nod. The stage is set. He roars like a war horn. Now! Chains rattle, prisoners surge, guards whirl in confusion. A woman drives her manacled fists into an enforcer's jaw. Another kicks free of the gangplank, toppling his captor into the river. The pier becomes a battlefield of clashing shadows, steel, and desperate cries. Here's the immediate field. You, rapier ready, 23 health points, AC 13. Allies, 12 prisoners, unarmed but feral. The tall leader fights like a soldier, wielding chain links like whips. Enemies, 6 black glove enforcers plus 1 red cloak captain, elite. 2 enforcers are near you, 2 are trying to contain the prisoners, 2 guard the captain. You currently have the drop on the 2 moving toward Doran's body. Initiative. Roll 1d20 plus 4 for Francesca's initiative. I'll roll for the enemy group and the prisoner allies to slot them in. What's your initiative roll? So the way initiative works, and I know this mainly from my playing of the video game BG3, is that before you enter a combat situation, everyone involved does an initiative roll. And that kind of puts you in the order of combat. So the higher your initiative roll, the sooner you will act in combat. So you want to have a better roll for that, basically. I mean, most of the time you want a good roll anyway. But regardless, my D20 is +4 because I've got +3 for dexterity and an initiative bonus because I'm going to be acting from like a stealth position. So let's make that roll and see if I've exhausted the luck of the gods today. I mean, it's not a bad roll, it's not a brilliant roll, but I'll take it. It's another 9 like earlier. So we're going to pop that in and see what that does. So it will be 9 plus the 4. Initiative 13. Francesca will act after the prisoners, but before the enforcers. The pier explodes into violence. Prisoners surge forward with wild desperation. One tackles a guard into the water. Another snaps her chains across an enforcer's face. The tall leader whirls his shackles like a flail, driving back 2 men at once. You step into the fray, rapier dripping with your silent kill. The 2 enforcers heading towards you turn just in time to see their comrade's body at your feet. Their eyes widen. The red-cloaked captain bellows, pointing straight at you. "The tiefling! She's the spark! Snuff her out!" Boots thunder on the planks as black-glove enforcers surge your way. Torches flare, blades catch the moonlight. The captain draws his longsword, its steel kissed with faint crimson runes. The air is thick with smoke, cries, and blood. You can hear the prisoners rallying behind you, but the enemy is closing fast. 6 against you, and then the captain. You raise your rapier, shadows dancing on your horns, golden eyes catching the firelights. Around you, chaos narrows to one sharp truth. You've lit the fuse. In the chaos of the docks, enemies close in, allies rise up, and the fate of every chained soul now hangs on a single bard's blade. That's all for now. Stay bold, stay curious, and keep on rolling solo.